was trying to create, and at the end of the day, things didn't work out.
Okay. You talked about getting your name from songs of Lawino, as in Lawino. Meaning you sort of have some like educational background in you, and you know how most people think. Maybe people who are in the music industry, the business industry.
I've been studying music for a long time. I will not lie. Like
yes.
I have more connection on the outside world than in Zambia.
Okay.
Yes. So I've been learning and trying to figure out how these other people think. You understand, like not just inclined to how Zambians are thinking. So I've interacted a lot with people from Nigeria. I've interacted with a lot of people from Ghana, Angola, South Africa. So what I'm trying to build is in the lines of trying to attach an international feel to everything that I do, and that has been my target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I know I cut you short.
Yes, I wanted to bring in the aspect of academic education as blending your academic qualifications and blending it in with business and music. Because most of people think, okay, even without an education, I can make it in music, I can make it in business. Like, maybe I want you to inspire someone out there with your academic qualification and how you blend it in with your music and business, so that they can know that, okay, in as much as you can make it in music and business, education is also important, and how it has been an impact to you.
Education is very important, yes. I'm a professional project manager, a diploma holder, though I've never really practiced my profession. But I believe it's not only getting employed, at times you can actually create something of your own, which I'm actually doing now. So the first thing that each and any person that is supposed to venture in any kind of business, the fact is that you need to have a certain level of education, because how else are you going to communicate with the outside world? It's important that you know the nitty-gritties of what area you are dealing in. If it's business, if it's music, you need the education. How do you sign a contract when you can't read it? How do you sign a contract when you basically don't really understand what is being asked for? So it's actually like very, very important. I've actually like seen a lot of people trying to shun away from education and saying, no, it doesn't mean when you're educated you become rich and whatnot. The aspect of education or getting educated is actually not becoming rich. It's just a matter of just having a better understanding and the way of communicating with the outside world. Whether you become rich or not, that's up to you. Because we are not saying if you're not educated then you cannot become successful. No. But you need the level of education. They say knowledge is power, so yeah.
Okay. So we know you as Lawino, the musical artist, the entrepreneur,
I'm happy you say musical artist.
The CEO of His and Has Zambia. What is the other side of Lawino that people don't know? Let's say your hobby, something that you think people don't know about you that might more like be a fun fact, or something that people will be like, oh, okay.
You know, it's funny. This will actually sound like a joke, but I'm a person that I don't know, like I'm not really keen to like doing a lot of things. I think besides me being at work and besides me recording, I'm mostly at home. Like there's nothing, man. I'm not into any sport.
Okay.
I don't like going out. I don't love being in a place where there are a lot of people. So I rarely go for events unless if I'm invited and I'm making a special appearance.
Oh.
So most of the times I think I'm just home. The only thing that I would say I'm interested in, I think, is reading.
Oh, really?
Like when I'm home, most of the times I would rather read or watch a movie, because that's where I get like most of my ideas from.
Oh, really?
When it comes to writing songs and whatnot. Trust me, people that do script writing for movies have got the best ideas ever.
Oh, really?
So most of the times I want to like tap into their space.
Okay.
You understand, eh? That's the thing. So I think reading and I think just being home and just having some alone time is what I usually do most of the times.
Okay, first things first, before we go into the other aspect of the interview, are you a registered voter?
You have to ask. Yes. Everybody has to register. Like, it's our right as citizens, and we need to practice it.
Okay.
You understand? So don't let other people choose leaders for you, and then later on you start complaining. Say, no, this and that. Go and register, and 2021 is coming. Everybody has to vote. I'm a registered voter. You want to see my registration?
Yes, I want to see it.
I don't move with it, just in case I lose it.
Okay,
Yeah.
And then you know that voter registration has been extended, right?
It has been?
It has been extended.
Oh, okay.
It has been extended, right?
It has been?
I think
how many
4
days?
days? 4 days.
4 days?
From, I think, the 16th.
Amazing.
4 days onwards. And then we have this mentality as Zambians of doing things at the last minute, because we saw like it was extension after extension.
I don't think it's actually only Zambians. I think just Africans in general. Yo.
Okay.
Everybody else wants to do things at the last minute. I don't know why.
So what advice can you give to people out there who, yes, it has been extended, we know it's 4 days, but we see more people showing up on the last day, and others will still be crying for an extension again.
I think generally human beings are just comfortable. We love to panic, because even when someone is preparing for an exam, you find that the last days or the last few weeks to the exam, that's when people want to do a lot of studying and whatnot.
Okay.
I feel we need to fight that mentality. But for voting, guys, I think since it's been extended, start going now. Don't wait for the last day, because they actually maybe extended it knowing the fact that other people actually haven't registered yet and they want to do it on the last day. So what happens on the last day? Still, Tamukwishi who are registered. Doesn't really make sense. So you better go now. This is a serious matter. As citizens, I think we actually need to participate in voting, and I'm hoping that people have really, really registered. Yeah.
His or her Zambia, it's a clothing brand, right?
His and hers. No. And this is a perception that I would like to clarify.
Because I've seen those T-shirts written.
The couple T-shirts.
His and hers. So that's the first thing that comes into my mind.
So let me explain something.
Okay.
His and hers. It's an idea that blends the man and the woman.
Okay.
You understand? It's been there like for ages.
But are you the owner of
No,
those
listen, I'm still explaining. I'm still explaining. When you wear matching shoes, you can call them his and hers shoes.
Okay.
When you drive matching cars, you probably call them his and hers cars. So when I started the business, I won't lie, I started with the couple T-shirts, which are the his and hers couple T-shirts. Not so. Great. Okay. So I started doing couple T-shirts before the company was registered. So it worked out so fine. Like for months, we actually had a lot of sales. We reached out to almost all the provinces. We were like supplying and delivering outside Lusaka. So the business was very good. So the time that I was going to register the actual company, the first names that came in my mind were his and hers. Oh. You understand? So we only attached a Zambia enterprise to it because it's a company now. So what his and hers Zambia does is not only couple T-shirts. Like I said with my introduction, we are a branding, marketing, and advertising company. So we do any kind of branding, be it billboards, T-shirts, corporate branding, stuff like that. We also advertise and we market. So his and hers couple T-shirts, this is just like some of the things that we just do as a company. We are into branding, we are into printing. So the company is not only about the couple T-shirts, but that was something that we started with. And I should not get the credit to say I was the first person to do the T-shirts in Zambia. No, that would be a lie. But I guess we just made them popular. Okay. You understand, eh? Okay. And because we have a page on Facebook called His and Hers Couple T-shirts. So I think that was like a general statement. Like everybody else that would look for T-shirts, they would go to the page and would work on a lot of T-shirts. And we came up with our own ideas later on. So yeah.
Okay, so before we go, I wanted to ask you about...
We're already going.
Yes, we're already going.
Okay. This was a short interview.
No. We're not like going as it's going. Before we go to the other part of the interview, yes.
Okay, great.
Someone, we have a comment here saying, people are calling you Washifly Joe now.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, on the stream, like, Washifly Joe, what's really with your son? What can you say to this comment?
Washifly Joe?
Yes.
The Fly J issue. Well, I'll put it this way.
And people still consider you as more like the father to Fly J.
So I'll put it this way. I came across a video. Should have been, I'm not really good with dates, but should have been 2018.
Yeah, I think it's 2018.
That's when I came up with, I came across a video of Fly J rapping. And I fell in
It's
love
you
with
who
it.
came up with the video? Or
No,
you
I didn't
came
come up with the
across
video. I
it?
came across
Okay.
the video. Did I say I came up? What did
maybe,
I say?
Maybe over.
So anyway, I came across a Fly J video.
Okay.
Then I started following him. So I noticed to say he does a lot of freestyles, goes to radio station, does interviews and whatnot. Then I became interested because this was the time that I started the record label. So I was like, oh, okay. So I think I could actually pick this talent and try to just mold him as a young boy. And yeah, let's see how this works. So I posted on my Facebook page, like the Lawino page. And then I said, anyone that is in touch with Fly J can contact me on these numbers. So a few minutes later, someone called me. He said, no, actually I know someone that is records the boy and manages the boy. So I can give you his number. Or I'll give him your number and then you can reach out. So that's how Josman, by then he's one that was managing Fly J. So Josman reached out and we set up a meeting. So Josman came through at his and hers with Fly J. So I got to talk to them and I gave them a few ideas of how I wanted to work with them, him and Fly J, because you cannot just snatch someone from yeah. So later on, he introduced me to the dad. Then we began talking. I think he was quite satisfied with the ideas that I had for the son, and yeah, we actually agreed to say we take him back to school. So before we even signed the contract with the parents, I think we actually paid for his school. And yeah, from that point, I think everything else just fell in place. So he started going to school, and we started recording him as an artist. We started branding him. I bought him new clothes. Started doing photo shoots.
It was even evident.
And stuff like that. Then later on, because like 2018 we only dropped like 2 songs. 2019, I think we started working. No, was it? Actually, I messed up with dates.
Okay.
So I think 2019 is when we signed him.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2019, I came across the video in somewhere December 2018. So 2019 is when they came through. So we signed him in 2019. Then we recorded like 2 major projects, like his own projects. Then he featured on a Black Billionaire. Not really a cypher, but it was like a cluster of all artists that were signed under the record label.
Okay.
So 2020 is when we started working on his album. Okay, so in the process, I had a plan. I didn't just want him to just release music anyhow. So I understood the kind of person he was. I also knew a few steps that I needed to take before fully taking him out there. So education was like the most important thing for me. Like, he needed to be educated. For the fact that he grew up on the streets, he needed to start embracing a new culture, looking at things differently, because trust me, Fly J was inclined to money. Like, every time, what he would want to do is, even when you leave food at home, he would want to go on the streets and make his own money.
I think that's the culture with most street children.
Exactly.
Even in orphanages, people complain, like, when you take in, yes, you give them food, you give them clothes, but still, street kids run out from orphanages to go look for money.
It was
on
a
the
process.
streets.
So I think for me, 2020 was about just getting him across, like from his old behavior, transcending to a new Fly J that understood how things are supposed to be done.
Is it true that he's older than his age, so that maybe the viewers can understand? Most people said he was 8, but others were like, no, he's just short.
No.
Boy is like jacked up.
Fly J is 10.
Oh, he's 10 now.
He's 10.
Okay, so maybe that was correct.
I think maybe that was like 2 years ago,
okay,
when he was 8.
Maybe
but now he's
correct.
10, right?
Then he's still young.
But he's still young. He's still young. But now, this is one thing that you need to understand. I believe there are people that are born for greatness.
Yes.
You understand? Like, they are super intelligent. Fly J is definitely a genius. He's way intelligent than I am, because the way he perceives things is way too different. I cannot freestyle. I've been recording music for quite some time, but I cannot freestyle like Fly J does.
Even me, I can't.
You understand? I have met great artists in Zambia, but trust me, put Fly J on stage with any rapper, he'll murder you. You understand? So like his IQ is high. It's amazing. So the only disadvantage that he has is that he grew up in a wrong environment, and that kind of kills the whole vibe. But otherwise, the boy is very intelligent. So this year, sometime should have been June, July, somewhere there, my father called me, because my father is based in Southern Province. He retired. So my father called me and says, no, we have a funeral. Because by then I was staying with Fly. I actually moved in with him after a few years from, I think after a year and some months from the time that I signed him up, because I needed to build that trust with the parents. You can't just get someone's child and say, I'll start staying with him when the parents don't really trust you. So I needed to build that trust. And these people understood how I cared for him and what intentions I had towards them, because I was not only helping him, I was also coming in to help the parents from time to time. At times you'd actually help them pay rent. At times maybe the mother is sick, you'd actually chip in. We created a family, in short. It was more than just music. In as much as we had a contract attached to me promoting him, it was more than just music. So when I started staying with him, I actually started noticing change, because at some point he even stopped leaving home. Okay? Like I would leave him home with a maid, and I would maybe knock off around 17, I'll still find him home. Maybe he would have gone out at some point, but he'll still come back. Because his behavior before was way too different. Every time that you leave home, so long the gate is open, you will not find him, and you will not come back. You understand? So it was that bad at some point, and then later on, we started seeing gradual change. It got to a point where he couldn't even go back to Chiwolia, because that's where the parents stay. So at times they would say, no, I want to see you on Sunday, and he would refuse. No, I'm going to see stuff like that. I started seeing change. Now, I don't know how this happened, because like right now I keep on asking myself a lot of questions. When I was called to go for the funeral in Southern Province, Flyje couldn't remain alone at home. It was a bit dangerous, because anything can happen. This is not my child. So if something happens now, the blame will be put on me. But I made a sacrifice, and this is one thing. I had to go against my family to start staying with Flyje. I had to go against my girlfriend, because this is a person that I felt has a bright future. Okay?
Yes.
So I genuinely cared for him. And I had to stand my grounds and explain to these people. We had a conversation with my dad at some point. And his concern was, look, this is not your child. What happens if something bad was to, happen? How will you explain to the people? Even the parents would not. Vision that I made, considering the fact that at some point, if my child was in the same situation, I would want another person to come in and help. I'm human. I've got feelings. So I looked at him as someone who's vulnerable. And I said, no matter what, I think we'll make things work. So when I went for the funeral, Flyje had to go back to his parents' house. Apparently, the time that he was leaving, he was not happy. He was crying, hey, and stuff like that, you understand? So little did we know that outcry was calling for something bigger. So when I left, he only spent a night by the parents' house. Then the next day, he sneaked out, which is a normal behavior, like he always sneaks out, right? Then, this was on a Wednesday. Thursday, he sneaks out. And he did not go back home for 7 days. Okay? This is a 10-year-old boy. 7 days, nowhere to be seen. So, fourth day, I think the father called me and said, we haven't even seen him. I've been looking for him and whatnot. So when I came back to Lusaka, what usually happens is that when Flyje is on the streets, people would call me, because there was a statement that we had put up at some point on my page saying, no, if you see him, please don't take pictures. Just kindly call us and we'll come and pick him up. So one of, there's someone that called me from Intercity and said, no, Flyje, I'm going to buy Intercity. You understand? This boy is a G.
That boy is too sharp.
No, Flyje, I'm going to pass street, by Intercity. And then I told the father, so the father actually went and found him there. Wait. So, and the father finds him, then brings him here. So he convinced the father, no, I want to go and see Uncle Owina. They came. Then the time that they came, I think the time I go back from Namala, I was actually shifting from Livala to Chilanga. I'm actually staying in Chilanga now. So I was shifting and I had packed everything. So when he was found, the father brought him here because he insisted. Yeah, not knowing that he had a plan. So when he came here, he started crying. No, me, I don't want to go to Chihuahua. I want to go. So, but I couldn't go with him because I'd already packed everything. So I explained to him, so look, tomorrow I'm shifting. My Lord, Ikapita, the next day, I'll come and get you. He cried, he refused. Anyway, to cut the long story short, that day passed, and the next day, Square, we just heard this boy is on a bus going to Copper Belt. Then I call him. So we used a strange number. I, changed my voice and using a small voice. Mwipanji. Banko, ndimwe. Nisi ndimwe na imwe. Fly J, uli kuti? Apati chepa basi hai. Wenda kuti? Tiende cho meeting achewe na super cheku ndola chabe hapa. But tizabwera after a few days.
Yes.
Okay. That's how we, I was like, the father says, hey, you bet for yourself, Miss Muzaya. This boy has gone. You see, me, I was not even aware. Someone just gave me the number. So how did he make a connection? Say, no, they organized for him. Like, someone called. Because he masters numbers. He's, like I said, he's a genius. He masters numbers. Like, if you tell him your number today, he will master it. Tomorrow, you'll actually be able to tell you your number. So what he does is, wherever he is, he already masters my number. So he would probably call. So I think he had mastered Waiselib's number. So he called Waiselib. Oh, that's super. I don't know what happened, but they made connections for him. He got on the bus. Exactly. So he went there. Then I was trying to communicate with Waiselib for like about a week. He was not responding to my messages, not even calls. Then we used Flyje's dad's number. We actually called. He was not picking up. Sent him messages. No, see the father. Blah blah. Still not responding. I called King Deza because me and King Deza were in talking terms by then. So I called King Deza and I said, oh, one of you boys has actually gotten my artist. Why said, oh, no, Papa, so I can only attend to that issue when I go back to Ndola. I said, oh, okay, great. So give me a feedback when you go there because, that's a minor and the parents are worried and stuff like that. Family members are complaining, So, when King Deza went to Ndola, he claimed to say he talked to Waiselib. Okay? And then, when I was talking to him, the information he was giving me was not really proper information. It was a bit vague. Then, seeing how everything was going and whatnot, and those guys, Tawangala, and stuff like that. So I just said, what? I told the dad to say, maybe you should report this matter to the police. Because yes, I am his manager, but you are the parent. So maybe you need to come in and do what you can do. Me, I'll just be there to support you and back you up. Then that was a bit reluctant and whatnot. Anyway, so overall, that happened and the scandal for the father, the Shandavu.
I think that's where the scandal for his father came in.
Exactly. So because I was contacting these guys and I think I actually posted something on Facebook attacking Waiselib directly. They made him make a video. They showed a video of him asking him questions and it was like something that was, according to me, I think it was just out of malice and they just had an intention to, tarnish my name and whatnot. So that didn't really work out because I think most of the comments, it was like 70%, 30%. 70 are for Lawino was actually just in the right direction, blah, 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 blah. And the other ones, obviously, the Kopala people, with the way they just think.
Just leave the boy.
Hey, you're not even famous, and stuff like that. Right? So, anyway, I just kept quiet. I didn't respond. We just let them be. At that particular point, I had the Alice issue because she actually sued me and we were supposed to appear in court this month.
Alice Roland.
And we are still waiting. Nothing has happened.
Okay.
So anyway, during that time, I was going to the law firm like almost every day because we needed to like sort out this issue. So I brought the issue on the table because now this was actually like kind of going to jeopardize my case. You understand? So I said, okay, you guys, I think we need to take action because these guys have gone against our contract. They've actually made him break our contract. So we need to sue them. And they actually advised, okay, I think we can go ahead. So during that period, I don't know how the message got to YCLB, but YCLB called me at some point to just like clarify things, to say, no, but me, I've told him to go back. But he's refusing. So so anyway, from that point, the father scandal happened. And then later on, surprisingly, Kindeza called me now. Okay? Kindeza calls me and he's saying, no, or tell the parents to come and get him. I don't really know what happened, but he made some claims, oh, Shanshan, blah, blah. And later on, he sneaked out and ran off, came back to Lusaka. So even the time that he was coming back to Lusaka, someone had already called me. So no, he's gotten on this bus because people are concerned. And I think a lot of people that really understood what I was doing for him, I think they actually just respected the fact that I was there. Besides me promoting his music and whatnot, I was just there. So
and as a father, no wonder
exactly. So they just like respected me for that. Okay, so they informed me and they said, okay, at the moment, there's practically nothing I can do. Like I cannot be directly involved because a lot has transpired from the time he left to now. And in as much as I care for him, I think the parents just need to put their foot down and just help the boy. Me, I can help him, yes, from a distance. He needs rehab. I already communicated with a lot of people. But he came to Lusaka and he's been on the streets. Because when he came, I contacted the father and I contacted the uncle who is in Lusaka. The father right now is in Copperbelt. Okay. So the uncle has been looking for him from the time that he came till date.
And people just say he's at Evelyn Hall, exactly. So, in the city.
And to some extent, because if it was a child, he was going to come. But he hasn't even stepped a foot here. You get? That's
I think because of what transpired.
Exactly. So he reasons, I think I messed up, so I can. But with other people, you tell them, no, apologize on my behalf, but he's not coming direct to me.
Okay, but let's say, for example, he's watching right now and he wants to come back. What can you tell him?
Yeah, because, to be honest, I think experience is the best teacher. I have learned a lot of things from my experience. And I'm not saying I regret my decisions. Trust me, I'm one person and I always say this. Everything that I've done, I'm happy that I did it. Okay. It shaped me in becoming the person I am now. So I have learned a lot. I have a lot of love for him. Even though the contract is still valid, okay, I would not take him back. But I would render my help. How would I render my help? Flyje needs rehab right now. I have already talked to people. So it's just a matter of getting hold of him and probably just taking him to that facility. Because the truth of the matter is that he might have been exposed to drugs at a tender age. Yes. Because of the environment he's coming from, because of the people he's found with, because of the people that inspire him. Okay? They are not good role models. Okay. So to say, let's face the facts. And every citizen that wants to see the young generation become the better generation, we actually need to start considering the environment or what we are exposing our kids to, which is very important. Zambians, I think we take things for granted. I think we actually joke too much. When there's a serious issue, people will not attend to it. But when there's something serious that has happened, someone has undressed, everyone will start sharing that mentality needs to stop because we've gotten to a point where real issues are not addressed. Yes. You understand? So which is very bad. So that's my stance. I still care for him and I would still extend my hands to help him. But taking him back as his manager is not something that you are likely to see.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think is the cause of such behavior in children? Is it just a rebellious behavior in them, or maybe it's from even the home they are coming from, the parenting? And some are saying maybe he comes from a broken home.
To be honest with you, I've interacted with his father, I've interacted with the mother.
The mother is still alive?
Yes, I've interacted with both parents. I've interacted with his environment, the family members. These are people that really care for him. Okay? The father might not be doing well, but he's a man that will go out there and just make something out of nothing and just goes home and provides for the family. Sometimes things are difficult, yes, but he's a good dad and he's a very educated man. Speaks very good English, has a very good overview about life. Okay? Most of the times you would sit Flyjet down and just try to straighten him up. It's not through beating or anything. Yes, obviously, one sometimes in Gachiramo you can beat, but both parents are very educated. The father was working for ZNS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, life happened. So those guys were actually living a good life at some point. I hear they were living North Mid Side. They were actually doing fine. So the father was away for some time, for about 4 years. So it's during that period that Flyjet was actually exposed to the bad environment. Okay? The mother could not continue paying rent where they were staying, so they had to go to Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. So from Mississippi, I think they went to Chihuahua. So I think the environment, and I'm not saying everyone that comes from the ghetto is bad, okay? And actually, these people actually I don't blame anyone. I can't even point fingers. Guys, we've never been in their shoes before, so it would be wrong for me to actually judge anyone. Because of experience shapes you to behave differently. Like right now, if someone was to come, like I receive a lot of calls like almost every day, people wanting to be signed and whatnot. I have changed the way I pick people I'm working with. I think before it was, okay, talent and what. There are a lot of things that I need to consider now. You can be talented, but if your character is not in line with what we believe in, you cannot work with us. That's the way it is. So because of experience, I think there are some certain things that have changed about me and how I do things. So even people that come from the ghetto, people that don't really have a privilege to even go to school and whatnot, you cannot blame them. It's something that probably they cannot fight, okay? But there are people that decide to put their foot down and they struggle to become better in life. So the environment that he was brought in probably triggered something that he's battling with right now. Where he comes from as a home, he comes from a proper home. Me, I actually don't even believe in being rich or having a lot of money for you to straighten up a child. No, I think it's just the environment. You know, kids are vulnerable. Kids are like plain papers. See, if the plain paper is there's nothing written on it, right? Then you start writing. Aba no for Baba. Whatever you write on them is what is engraved in their system.
Yes.
So if nothing is done, it might be too late. But I'm saying for Flyjet, it might not be too late, because when I stayed with him, I started noticing change. Okay? So when he is rehabilitated, when he is put in a place where he starts looking at life differently, definitely he can change.
Okay.
So as to a lot of street kids out there, we're not only talking about Flyjet. I think this issue actually has to be extended to even other people. Because yes, Flyjet is getting the shine because he's talented, but what about other kids that are on the streets that don't have any other person that intends to, take care of them? Those ones also need to be considered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Away from the Flyjet issue, let's get back now to the real business, your business.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself, let's say, in the next 5 to 10 years?
Why is it that everybody else will ask that question?
Because
5 years from now, I'll still be here. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if your question is complete. If it's not, you can complete it.
Okay, so you said, why do people ask you? I think
No,
maybe
no.
because people want to know who to work with,
plans?
and people want to
Yeah.
work with a person with a vision. So you might just be talking to like a potential somebody out there who might want to like tag along in your boat. So no wonder we're asking you, what's your vision, so to say. Let me not mention the names.
To be honest with you, I think let's start by talking about his and hers. Like I said, it's a branding, marketing, and advertising company. I think the only major thing that we're doing right now is branding. Okay, so we want the company to branch off into marketing and advertising on a corporate level. probably have our own premises, like our own company, where we just build from scratch. I think that has been my main focus as a company. So 5 years from now, we would have achieved a lot. Having our own offices, we would have been working with a lot of corporate companies, because initially that's the idea I had even the time that I started doing t-shirts. Okay, then we also intend to open up branches or in other different countries. Already I'm in talks with someone who's based in Angola, and COVID happened this year, but we are planning on opening his and ours Angola this year. But our plans were not successful because we had a few constraints that we couldn't control. It was like beyond our control. So with the company, that's what we are working on. Me personally, as an individual, like I said, I'm Ila by tribe. By heritage, we are born farmers, because we have a lot of cattle from the southern part of the country. So I intend to venture into farming. Yes, so I intend to venture into farming. I intend to venture into real estate. I think those are the other like 2 things that I want to do away from his and hers. And with the music, Black Billionaire Records, so far so good. I partnered with 2 people, Fanon Kawe and there's Memphis Lunga. Memphis Lunga is a Zambian born but based in the United States. I don't even know when he's even going to come. We've never met before, but you know how technology helps us to connect with other people. So Memphis Lunga is part of the record label, and we have Fanon Kawe, who is Congolese by nationality and based in South Africa. He's a cinematography guy. I think I actually did mention that he's gonna come in the country. So with the record label, we intend to make a mark on the international scene. So how is that going to be done? Already we are working with artists from different countries. We've got 2 artists from South Africa signed under the record label. We haven't started promoting their music yet, because we are trying to build a solid foundation for everyone. Okay? Then we have an artist from Ghana. We have an artist from Angola. So with the record label, we intend to make a mark on the international scene. Then secondly, I am currently working on my EP, and I'm working on my album. This will sound like a joke. We intend to feature people like Sauti Sol from Kenya, Sakode from Ghana, Olamide Nigeria, Wizkid on the album.
Oh, really?
So yes, so this is the thing. From now to July, we have a target. So I'll need to, because we already approached these people, so there are things that they're asking for. Obviously, when you start talking to them, the first thing before they even mention about how much you're paying for the features, they would want to see your previous works, they would want to see your videos, they would want to see your social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. What numbers are you doing? For them, that's very important. So there's how I want to brand myself, or there's the way the record label wants to brand me from now to July, before we drop the EP. Then after the EP, we'll concentrate on working on the album. So by December, we should be able to get a few names that I've mentioned here. It might not be everyone, but we would have tried and would have put in a lot of work. So it's not even 5 years from now, right? It's like a year. Yeah, so basically that's it. Yeah.
All right. As we conclude, I would like you to send out a message to your fans out there watching, or someone who looks up to you and draws inspiration from you.
You know, I always laugh at that question. I don't know, like I don't do too well with the endings and conclusions, and but for people out there that have believed me from the start, because I've received, in as much as I've received a lot of support, I've received a lot of negative comments also.
That's what happens when
stuff like So Friday I'm actually dropping a song. I can't say the title on media, but if you follow my page, stay glued. We are dropping a song. and this song is gonna do massive damage. Like, this is a song that I'm feeling right now. So
I hope it's a danceable song.
very, very danceable song. So watch out for the song that is dropping on Friday. I will not mention the title, but if you go to my page, I think my current profile picture is captioned with the title of the song, so you guys should check it out.
Okay, I'll check
So
that.
everybody else that has been a fan, a supporter, and people that believe in the Black Billionaire movement, we are coming with a lot of fire. I might be dropping a music video in January or Feb next year.
Okay.
International video. Fanul Kawi is coming in the country, I think a few days from now. So we are about to make magic. And upcoming artists out there, do not wait for anyone to help you become successful. This is one big mistake that we make. I think when you start, have a proper plan, believe in yourself, and make connections with the people that will help you achieve your objectives and goals. I'm a producers, I'm a DJs, I'm a bloggers, and just try to interact with other artists, but don't go there as someone who's desperate to be helped. It never ends well. These people will blue tick you, these people, you know how it is, they'll leave you on scene. So just believe in yourself and don't depend on any. Life owes you no favor. It's you making it. Any big artists that you see in Zambia, they had to work their way to the top. So if you do not believe in yourself, no one else will believe in. It is only when people start seeing results, that's the only time they'll jump on the board. You understand? So I'll give you an example. Makitu will probably not entertain you. So please believe in yourself, push, hustle until you make it. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. But apart from you just wanting to become an artist, please, I always emphasize, education is very important. Look at the way I'm speaking right now. It's because of education. I'm just saying, like, yo, you need to really understand your environment. Like, I understand my environment. That's the way it is. I'm able to connect with the outside world because of education. So don't let anyone lie to you to say, no, school if us will be driving. Guys, you need to really take education seriously. For us to even understand politics and who to vote for, their manifesto, you can only understand it well and analyze it if you are educated. They will not buy you off. No one will buy you off. I'm just saying, like, generally speaking, that's how elections are. So please, guys, let's take education seriously. Everybody else needs at least basic education. You should be able to read, you should be able to write and communicate with the people around you. That's the reason why these other guys from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, they are flourishing more because a lot of them are, guys, Neto C, master's degree in whatever program. Benna Boy, all these guys are educated. You understand? So even when someone puts a contract on the table,
I even hear Lewin has a degree in
exactly
education.
my point. So let's go get that education and be great. Let's be great people. Let's not imitate what other people are doing. I think let's be original. If I am calling myself a rapper, I should be able to stand on my two toes and say I'm the best rapper in Zambia, I'm the best rapper in Africa. Otherwise, if I don't feel like that, then what's the point when you already have Shefi, who is better, and you say, oh, Shefi is better than me? Dude, then stop doing music. Don't do anything at all. That's what I would say. So thank you very much for the support, and thank you guys for giving me the platform. I hope we could do this soon.
We'll do this next time.
Thank you very much. It's La Wino signing up. You already know.
Okay, so that's our very own outspoken Lawino and Lawino. And kindly
don't mispronounce my name. It's La Wino.
La Wino.
Thank you very much.
And please go out there and register to vote because voter registration has been extended for 4 days. So don't wait for the last minute for you to go out there and go register as a voter. Your vote is your right. Join